Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated from the show, you know why it is, Phineas and Ferb. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do consider liking the video. That really helps me out loads and loads. And if you're new around here, please subscribe. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. I'm sure that you guys will want to see what we have coming up next on the channel. Click that little bell. That'll make sure that you get everything sent directly to your sub box. Without any further ado, let's get her started. Now, just before we start building, everybody, here are all of the materials that you will need to make your tower. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. The amount of ground space required to make the tower is a 16 by 19 block area as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, which you are more than welcome to make if you do feel as though it will better help you plan out your world. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure you got all that stuff. Make sure you got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready. And once you are, we can begin. Step 1, Evil Building Builders. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made it. On top of the front right hand corner of the grid, place yourself a blue terracotta. Place 2 light blue on top, 1, 2, and then place, and I know that this seems like a lot, 31 blue terracotta on top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. We are then going to extend that 31st block to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to place a light blue terracotta on top of that block with a blue terracotta to the right. Extend up by 2. 1, 2. Place another light blue terracotta with a blue terracotta to the right. Extend up by 2. 1, 2. Place a light blue terracotta on top with a blue terracotta to the right and extend up by 2. 1, 2. Place a light blue terracotta on top with a blue terracotta to the right and extend up the blue terracotta by 1. We now want to extend that blue terracotta to the left by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then upwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're then going to extend to the left by 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We're then going to go down by 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're then going to go right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're then going to go down by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're then going to go left by 9 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then finally, we're going to go down pretty much all the way until we do eventually connect to the ground. Now, unfortunately, building downwards on bedrock, not the easiest. So this will take a little bit longer than it probably should, but eventually we will reach the ground. Eventually, I want to say that one more time in the hopes that it syncs up properly. Eventually, you will reach the ground. Perfect. So we're here, and as you can see, we've got a pretty large tower. We're going to take the block that hit the ground and we're going to extend it to the right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to place a light grey concrete on the end of it, and then we are going to extend the light grey concrete upwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to place a lime terracotta in front and extend right by 3. 1, 2, 3. Place a light grey concrete behind and extend down. And then the block on the ground, I simply want you to place blue terracotta extending and connecting all the way back to where we first started. So, you will end up with this shape right here. I love it. What we're then going to do is we're going to take the bottom of the build on the left and right hand sides, both corners of the build. We're going to extend backwards by 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You don't have to extend both of them back because you can just extend across and then join forward. If you have made the grid, it will just sit perfectly on your grid. What we also want to do, and hey guys, this is where things get a little bit tricky here, okay? We want to basically copy the shape that we have on the front of the build there onto the back of the build. And we don't really want to keep counting things out, do we? Because, you know, that's a really long process to do. So the way that we are going to do it is we're going to do it by using a process known as eyeballing. And what this basically means is you just want to make sure that the back of the build, and we are copying the shape, mirroring it straight onto the front. We're just going to make sure that everything lines up. And when necessary, at the crucial parts of the build, I'm going to suggest you simply run a row of light blue terracotta just to make sure that all of the corners do line up, because we don't want a wonky build. So wherever you feel as though that you have to do this, I feel as though that I've got to do it a little bit as well. We've just got to make sure that everything lines up. The build, as far as I know, because you don't really get to see the back of the build very much, if ever, it's possible that perhaps you do get to see it if you are an avid Phineas and Ferb watcher. Perhaps you have seen the back of the build at some points. I'm not an avid watcher, so I can only go by what I find on the internet. So this is I've made the back of the build pretty much the exact same as the front. I thought that that'd be pretty logical. And we do just want to make sure everything lines up. So yeah, this is pretty much all you have to do. I think I'm going to start building from the bottom again, because as I said, building down on bedrock, and I don't know if they will ever fix it. I think that it is what it is. I think that I'd rather just build upwards. It's just a little bit easier. So there we go. Sometimes it is difficult to kind of tell. I want to say that that's good. Okay. Sometimes it is difficult to kind of tell, like, is that block where it should be? Is that right? I don't want to get anything wrong. It's quite easy to just, like, run a row from the front of the build to the back of the build, like there. That looks a bit low, so what we're going to do is we're just going to extend another row. I might have... Oh, no! Oh, okay. Never mind. It did line up. So here... That extends there, and then right, and then that should just connect up. And then what that has done, you see, it's so much easier doing it the second time round. That looks a lot more impressive and also a little bit creepy. Is that supposed to look like a guy's head, actually? Has anybody else seen that? It kind of sort of looks like Squidward's head. Huh. Maybe, I don't know whether I'm the only one that sees that. Maybe I'm going insane. Okay, so now that we have this, it's time for us to start adding some more features to the building. I think that we're going to probably do one of the harder parts of the build right now. So one of the harder parts of the build is actually the glass top. There's a big dome at the top of this building. And the way that we make the dome is this. We are going to take the top of the build, and we're going to place an entire layer of blue terracotta just all the way around the top like this. So it's going to extend out a row, which is very important. So just to kind of... There we go. So just have it stick out just exactly like that. We're going to add another layer of blue terracotta on top, just like this. And it's just going to go all the way around. Like, everything on this build takes a little bit of time. So if there's a little bit of a pause, I'm just kind of like waiting to get to the next part of the build, because there's nothing really much to say about the fact that we're just adding another layer of blue terracotta all the way around on top of what we have already just made. So let's have a look at this. There we go. Perfect. So now we have this effect right here. That is great. That's exactly what we're looking for. What else do we want to do? So on the lower part of the tower, we have this cutout area, kind of like a rectangular shape, a box shape, right? I want you to, using your blue terracotta, I want you to continue this line of blue terracotta upwards, and I want you to join it to the top of the build. So, oh, it didn't quite go all the way, did it? There we go. And I want you to join it to the top of the build. This kind of cuts the tower in half-ish. What we then want to do is we want to take that row. We want to take, you know how we extended upwards? We want to continue extending upwards from this vertical row of blue terracotta, and we want to place a blue terracotta on top of the 2 layers of terracotta that we've just placed. And the reason that that's important is we then want to take this single terracotta and we want to extend it left by 3, 1, 2, 3, and we want to extend it right by 3, 1, 2, 3. We want to add another layer of blue terracotta on top of this that is 1 row shorter on both sides. And then we want to do the same thing again. So we kind of want to make just kind of like a little sort of pyramid. We want to take the center of the pyramid and we want to extend it upwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we want to take the lower tier of the pyramid on the left and right side. And I want you to place, and I know that this is going to be a little bit tricky, but this is what we want to do. We want to place an upright diagonal from the lower tier of the pyramid, extend right 1. Upright diagonal, right 1. I want you to go upright diagonal, right 1. Perfect. I want you to take the next tier of the pyramid, or actually the top tier of the pyramid here, and I want you to place an upright diagonal using your blue terracotta, and then I want you to go up, right, up, right, up, right, up, right, up, right. So you want to do that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I believe 5 times. The end result should mean that this blue terracotta is actually even with this part of the blue terracotta just down below. So just make sure everything lines up. We want to, on the left side of the build, do the same thing. So we'll take the lower tier of the pyramid, up left diagonal, left 1, up left diagonal, left 1, up left diagonal, left 1. Take the upper tier of the pyramid here, and we want to have the same as we have on the right side there. Up left diagonal, and then it's going to be like up, left, up, left, up, left, up, left, up, left. Just make sure that it lines up with the lower shape that we just kind of made. And this is exactly kind of like what we want to have. Kind of sort of looks like someone's hair after they've been like electrocuted in a cartoon or something. That's kind of what we want to have. So, behind this, we want to make a glass dome of some sort. So, the glass dome actually starts here. So, if you take, like, the top right-hand corner of the blue terracotta and you move inwards diagonally, this is where the dome starts. And it's made out of light blue glass. You want to place 3 of them on top of each other. So, we already have 1, 2, 3. You then want to place an upright diagonal, light blue glass block, with 2 on top. 1, 2. You want to place an upright diagonal, and then you want to place 1 on top. So, there we go, upright diagonal, 1 on top. And then you want to place another upright diagonal. And then another. And then you want to go right 2, 1, 2. Then we want to place an upright diagonal. Go right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just to show you the shape since we're about halfway, there you go. So like 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 5. We then want to place a bottom right diagonal using the glass, and we want to go right by 2. Then we want to place 2 bottom right diagonals, so we can place 1 here, and then another here. We want to go down by 1. Bottom right diagonal, down by 2. And then we want to place a bottom right diagonal, down by 2. So, from the outside, it looks exactly like that. That is the exact shape that we want. That is fantastic. And from the inside, it's a little bit easier. That's exactly what we want as well. So, if you like, what you can do is you can just fill this in. This shape is rather important because it's going to get extended all the way backwards. Of course, it makes up the entire dome shape of the top of the build. And what we do on the front of the build, as you guys know now, what gets done on the front is pretty much replicated on the back, except for a small couple of details. Actually, pretty much everything is extended across. So we want the exact same shape that we have on the front of the build on the back of the build. You guys remember when we extended this vertical row of blue terracotta upwards? We want to continue doing that. We want that on the back, and we want it applied to the back as well. We want to extend the single blue terracotta upwards, extending through the line like this. It's kind of like a little bit jagged, if that makes sense. We want to extend the blue terracotta left by 3. We want to extend it right by 3. We want to turn it into a pyramid like this. We want to add 2 tiers. We want to extend the middle of the blue terracotta upwards, and you can even extend it up and you can join it all the way to the front of the build as well, like this. Fantastic. We want the same blue terracotta shape that we have on the front of the build. We want this on the back. That should be fairly easy to copy, I think. So that's exactly what we'll do. We'll just copy it. As you can literally just copy it by looking at the front of your build, by the way. If you're kind of like, how's this guy copying it? What do you mean? If you just look literally just directly forwards, hopefully you should be able to see it well enough that you are able to just kind of like do it. That's exactly what I'm doing anyway. Like, I'm not looking at any sort of plans or anything like that. Is that right? That looks right. Well, there's an easy way to find out whether it's right, by the way. Join the blue terracotta from all the way to the front. There we go. We overshot it a little bit, but that's okay. We can just we can extend it. We can join it. You can do that in any point of these. Like all of these actually join front to back as well. So if you like, is that right? I'm not sure if that's right. Easy way to find out. Very easy way to find out. We've not even made this part yet, so let's extend that backwards and then we'll work on this. So I think that ends up what you do this 5 or 6 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I guess that would have only been 5. But yeah, there we go. Perfect. If you want to make the dome easy to extend backwards as well, all you have to do is just extend the... if you extend the edge of the dome backwards, that will actually give you the blueprint, the outline for the dome on the front. So, the dome, the glass part that we're making now, you only really have to extend the blocks that are exposed, and they sit 1 row behind the blue terracotta, as you know. They sit just 1 row behind the blue terracotta, as you know. So, just here, you guys can see where it comes to, just all here. We're going to extend this as well, and also this one, just because otherwise it'd be... I know that it's not like exposed, but otherwise it would look a little bit weird. From the top, at the very least, we don't want to have any open gaps in this build, or at least none that shouldn't be there. I don't think that there is actually any open space in this build anyway. Even the entrance is sealed up. But yeah, as I mentioned from the start of this build, and now you guys might be able to see what I'm talking about a little bit more. And by the way, this isn't where it stops. This build is a long one. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. That we've got a lot to build. Okay, it's a big tower. It's a lot of filling in, but that's okay because we're getting all of the difficult parts taken care of first. I thought that I'd do that for you. So when it does come time to build, like when we've got to literally fill the tower in, which is coming, trust me. Oh, sorry to tell you, when you fill the tower in, that is not going to be fun. But at least it will be one of the easier things that you have done in the tower's construction. That's the way that I like to think about it. So, we're going to get all of this extended. This is crazy. It's actually, it's not bad because we don't have to do the whole thing, like I said, because some of the purple or blue terracotta is there. It's purple. I really wish they'd just call it purple terracotta. I don't know why it has to be. I guess it's because of the dyes, like of how you can make the terracotta, but still, I wish it wasn't like that. So, okay, perfect. So we have the outline for the dome on the back. As you guys might have guessed, we also want to seal the dome up as well, just on this side. Make sure that as you're sealing it up, eventually make sure that you actually are able to escape from the dome without having to destroy anything. So that can go there. It's actually a little bit cramped inside of here. It might have been better, and I do say might, probably would have, almost certainly would have been better to do... would have been to do the glass first and then the rest of it. But hey, since when have we been in the business of doing things properly in a way that makes sense? Never. So we're just going to do that, and then just shift on out here. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty good, right? That actually, I'm really happy with that. So that looks great. That's awesome. And as I keep mentioning, because I like to keep mentioning it, hard part done. Very difficult. Okay, so now that that is done, we have details that we have to add to the tower. So for instance, on the right side of the tower, kind of like on... Well, there's only a couple of like ledges on the tower. I think you'll manage to find it. I'm trying to... You'll find this particular ledge. So on the ledge on the right side of the tower here, we want to, first of all, we're going to connect this inward corner of the tower front to back using some blue terracotta here, right? What we're then going to do is we are going to use some light blue stained glass pane, and on top of the row that we just made, we're going to place 2 light blue glass, 1, 2, blue terracotta. As a matter of fact, I'd really prefer it if they were right next to each other. It'd save me some hassle. So 2 glass, 1 terracotta, 2 glass, 1 terracotta, 2 glass, 1 terracotta. You guys see the idea, right? Eventually, we extend backwards, and it's just like from left to right, just like that. We're going to place 3 blue terracotta, 1, 2, 3, on top of all of these terracottas. So we're extending all of them upwards, each by 3 like this, and then we're going to join them all together at the top like so. So just like that. We then fill all of the windows in using the glass, just like this. And then that is pretty much all of the details, mostly the detail on this side of the build. There's some windows. I guess to see the scenery, I suppose. It is a big building, I bet that you get a nice view. I mean, we can see Pot Vinyl Steve there, and even Mrs. Puff's house and the Coca-Cola lorry, so maybe there is a nice view up here. In addition to this, we're going to add a blue terracotta layer around the edge of this somewhat platform area. It's easier to just kind of do it and then show you what it looks like. It's quite easy to do. Yeah, that's not bad. That's exactly what we want. We want to come over to this side of the build, the opposite side. So there's actually 2 details on this side of the build. Number 1, we are going to seal up. We're gonna join this little bottom corner together. So we kind of want to have just like a nice big workspace here. I want you to add a row of light blue terracotta inside of this big like empty panel of the building. I want you to place on the left side here, extending to the right from left to right, 2 light blue terracotta, 3 glass. We're using pane again. 1, 2, 3. I want you to use 2 light blue terracotta, 3 glass, 2 light blue terracotta, 3 glass, like this. We're going to extend the glass all downwards by an entire row, so this is a little bit fiddly, unfortunately. Oh, my bad. I really wish it was easier to place. I should have used block. There we go. We're going to then place an entire layer of light blue terracotta underneath all of that. And then we're going to replicate that again, meaning where you place the glass above, we're going to place another layer of glass, and then we're going to extend the glass downwards, because that's what we do around here. We like double windows. We don't like single windows around here. Only the double kind. I don't even know what I'm talking about. We're going to then place a layer of light blue terracotta underneath all of that. So now we've got 2 sets of windows. Fantastic. And finally, there is a finally to this. On the left side specifically, only the left window. Don't make me repeat myself. We're going to place another window like this. Why? You might be wondering. I didn't design the tower. I did not design the original cartoon tower. I cannot tell you why. There is, for some reason, don't know, no clue, why you've got 2 rows and then just 1 window there. But it is why it is. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're going to place some blue terracotta all the way around the bottom, or I suppose you could even consider it kind of like the top of this gap here, and it's all just going to get extended out. And funnily enough, we're going to do the same thing just down below as well. So essentially, the top and bottom part of like the cutout area of this tower, that again, kind of like the rectangular sort of shape like this, wants to be extended outwards, like so. Now we have 2 things that we have to do here. First of all, I reckon what we're going to do is we're just going to fill the middle of this platform in using some light blue terracotta. So the middle of this platform is getting filled in with light blue terracotta like this. This will take a while. It's a little bit redundant to say, really, isn't it? Everything takes a while here. So now that we have done that, I want you, and this is kind of important, this will just help you find specifically where this is, what I'm talking about. You know how we have the middle set of windows on the side of the tower? The left side of the middle set of windows, if you follow that line down, and just be careful, follow that line down onto the platform, and then you walk onto the platform probably, how many rows would this be? Kind of like, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4. And then if you place a blue terracotta and extend the blue terracotta upwards, like this, and then we fill the base of this in, or I guess this is the roof. I'm getting confused. This is kind of like the roof of this area. You can fill this in using some blue terracotta just to, again, just kind of give us a platform to work with. Like this. There we are. So now you can see that we have just that one little beam there. But that little beam's somewhat important because we're going to, all the way around the top of this, we're going to place rows of 1, 2, 3, 4. We want a row of 4 blue terracotta all the way around. Like this. 4 blue terracotta all the way around the top of this. So like that. And then what we're going to do is we are just going to carve this out. We're going to carve out 2 rows from each of the corners like this. So it'll almost look kind of like a needle of some sort. We want to have something which should look like that. Perfect. That's looking great. That's exactly what we want. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost done with the details. Okay, so this area here it's like a big, it's almost like a garage door of some sort. Again, I didn't design the tower. I don't know when the guy who, when the person that originally designed the tower made this. I don't even know. I don't know why they drew it the way that they did. But on the inside panel here, we're going to place rows of 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 light blue terracottas. They're going to get extended up from this platform all the way up to the top here like this. And once they are extended up to the top, one moment please, there we go, we're going to add 2 rows of light blue terracotta extending from the top, extending downwards. So let me just show you what that looks like, because this is what it looks like from the inside, but more importantly from the outside like this. Again, a big garage door sort of thing. We then want to back this using some lime terracotta. So actually it kind of reminds me of like a portal. Now that I think about it, kind of like a Rick and Morty style portal. So that's what we want to have. Yeah, don't know why, but that's what it wants to be there. Now that we have done that, all we have to do is add some stripes to the tower, and that is exactly what I mean, some stripes. To be crystal clear, stripes. Okay. So, all the way down at the base of the tower, okay, we have a row of 2 light blue terracotta. That row of light blue terracotta shouldn't be there. It should be 1 row inside. What I mean by that is we're going to delete the original row of light blue terracotta here, and we're going to have 2 rows of light blue terracotta extending all the way around the inside. And by the way, also, you should probably destroy the 2 actual blue terracottas off of each one of the 4 corners of the tower. Just destroy them off the sides of the tower like this, and then we are going to have our 2 rows of light blue terracotta just inside of the tower. This adds a nice little bit of depth. It kind of looks like what's going on with the actual tower itself. It's an all-around good time. There we go. What we then want to do is we want to extend the blue terracotta that is just above it. We want to join it all together, kind of like in corners like this. It wants to essentially adhere to the exact same shape that is just down below. So like this. If that makes sense, it wants to just kind of copy along. Where we have the entrance, we're just going to back it with some glass. Like that. You can even extend the lime terracotta just above it to just connect, like so. And then when it comes down to it, this is where things start getting a little bit snoozy. All above here, we want to add stripes to the building, and I literally mean stripes, vertical stripes. On top of this row here, going from left to right, only on the front and the back of the building, not on the sides, we're going to place 2 light blue terracotta, 2 light blue, blue, 2 light blue, blue, 2 light blue, blue, 2 light blue. There we go. Just like that, right? What our job is to then extend the blue terracotta upwards. It wants to extend upwards even onto the second story of the tower. However you want to see it, kind of like, you know how it's kind of like split in some places? I almost think of it as like being 2 different stories, even though it's like one big tower. I'm sure that there's many floors inside the tower. But anyway, kind of getting away from the point. We want to place rows of blue terracotta extending upwards just like this. And the stripes of the blue terracotta wants to... And again, it wants to follow through the entire tower. So, just like this. Just like that. So you can see it goes all the way from the bottom, all the way up to the top. We're going to take the ledge that we have on the front of the build as well. We're also got, and the back of the build, I don't know why I said it like that. The ledge that we have on the front and the back of the build, we also want to have stripes here. So that means that you just extend this corner just upwards because they're spaced out evenly. We want to have 1 stripe there, and then we're going to have just 1 more. So we'll have 2 light blue terracotta, and then we'll just have 1 more stripe. And then if you wanted to, but I wouldn't, like, you could even add, like, say 1 here and there, but I wouldn't. I'd just leave it like that. So, stripy tower. The tower also wants to have stripes on the back. I'm not going to do those just yet. I'm actually leaving that up to you completely. The tower also wants to be filled in using light blue terracotta. So, once you've added the stripes, you're going to want to fill in between the stripes with light blue terracotta. You are going to want to fill the sides of the tower completely in using light blue terracotta, the entire side. That applies to this large part here. It applies to the under part of the platform. You want to join it all together. The top of the platform, everywhere. It all wants to be filled in with light blue terracotta. And there is one big thing that I'm missing. There's also a big sign on the front of the tower as well, which I really wish that I would have started working on earlier. Okay, so the sign on the front of the tower, let's get started, right? It's basically just 3 rows of lime terracotta. If you come all the way up to the top of the tower, like here, and you come all the way up to the top of the tower here, and you move downwards by like 1, 2, so you leave a gap of 2. You then want to place yourself a lime terracotta, extend it right by 2, 1, 2. And destroy those first 2 blocks, but that 3rd one can stay. You then want to extend it all the way to the right, and you want to stop it 2 rows short of the right hand side here, and then add 2 rows of lime terracotta directly underneath it. There's a big sign on the tower, which is actually too long for us to write because the tower isn't big enough, but the tower wants to have that. So including that sign, that is all we are going to have to do. We apply the stripes from the front of the build, we put them on the back, we then fill the entire tower in with light blue terracotta, and I am not going to do that on recording because that will take a really long time. Once that has all been done, your tower will look exactly. So this is what your Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated tower should look like once it's been 100% fully filled in, ladies and gentlemen. All I have pretty much done from when you have literally just seen the tower like 10 seconds ago, I have added the stripes to the back and I have filled it in using the light blue terracotta. That's it. I have also, of course, enhanced the glass areas using some light blue concrete, but you don't have to do that. That's just kind of like to make the tower look a little bit better. But other than that, as long as you add the stripes, as long as you add the light blue terracotta, we will have pretty much the exact same thing in our worlds. High five! I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. There's no more. That's the end of the video. If you have enjoyed the tutorial, please do remember to like the video. That really does help me out loads and loads and loads. If you are new around here, please do consider subscribing if you want to see more builds by me. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And not only that, if you do want to see other builds that I have already made. I've made some really cool stuff recently. There we have a pop vinyl Steve. You can find all of the stuff that I'm going to be showing you in the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section. We have Garfield's house, Mrs. Puff's house. We have a little baby Yoda statue over there. We have the Coca-Cola lorry. It never ends. We have all sorts of cool stuff on this channel. It's not just cartoon builds, it's cool statues as well, and also, again, sometimes some weird vehicles too. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.